Hey, it's underscore of the Time Pals. This week, the Time Pals are celebrating our first full year as a four-dad super team by reflecting on past episodes, glazing our former guest hosts, and revisiting some of our favorite fights and most cringeworthy takes. We are also honored to announce we have crossed 2,000 total downloads, which for a podcast like ours is a tremendous accomplishment, one that Nickel will take sole credit for. So before we take our month-long summer break, it's a Time Pal Summer Break Rewind, and it's right now.
Late nights and cheap wine, we gather round the mic, just killing time.
With me today is Shadow Spartan.
Happy 48th anniversary of Star Wars Episode 4, because it's still May. Some still celebrate Star Wars.
Jeez, this comes out in June.
Right. But the recording is all that matters.
Yeah, I don't. You know what? We're gonna move on.
Wait, when is it though? Like, when is the actual anniversary?
I think the actual anniversary of Star Wars.
Yeah, of
The
A New
original,
Hope.
I thought it was 48 years.
Yeah.
Oh, we're close up to 50. Yeah, 48. Yeah, we'll wait till 50.
You don't celebrate 48. You know what I mean? No, it's not a milestone. Anyway, also with me, John, is Nickel.
Yes, I am in fact here.
And then, as always, John Powell.
Do you guys know I got kicked out of a restaurant the other day because I grossly misunderstood what they meant by bottomless mimosas?
Oh God, you didn't write that, did you, for the show?
No.
That's way too clever. Way too
Yeah,
clever.
it's way.
Anyway, would one argue that it would be? It's too clever, so I would need to write it down because I'm not that clever to come up with it on my own.
Okay, maybe he hand wrote it or typed it, but he did not come up with it.
Yes.
One of your kids came up with it, huh?
No, I
Just boldly looking at the phone and say, "Hey, Dad, say this shit."
Yeah.
So the reason we're all together is we are obviously all dads. We're going to take our summer break to be with our kids, or in Shadow's case, his cats.
Cats.
Because of that, we decided, you know what? It's our 1 year as a group, and we are basically celebrating those two milestones. That one, and the fact that this tiny ass show has 2,000 downloads. But we didn't make a whole big post about it or anything like that. We devoted a whole episode. So before we start, just to give a very brief history of the Time Pals, if you don't know, we started a couple years ago with another co-host. After a little bit in time, that person broke off to do some Twitch stuff, and I was by myself. I decided, hey, I've already paid our bandwidth basically for the year, and I asked two really. Shadow, I forced, but I asked other people, hey, do you guys want to be on a show where we're going to talk about whatever you want? It used to be about geeky shit, but I do not have a partner. I do not have anything else on my brain. You can record as much as you want, as little as you want. And when we're done, we are done. And we started off with Shadow Spartans. Ironically, it was May because obviously Star Wars. So we had our first episode was about Shadow's experience with Episode 1's video game on the PS1, right?
Yeah, that was actually like technically our anniversary. Yeah.
Yep.
That was like
That's how we started.
Yeah. So anyways, so after that one, I kept inviting the guys back and they just kept coming back. And before you know it, a year has gone by. The four of us have still remained. We've had some really fun guest hosts. We've done some really fun topics. And we've just been slowly growing. So we want to thank everybody for that too. So yeah, we can start from the top. So like, since obviously I kind of roped all you guys into this show, but how's it been for you, like learning how to co-host, learning how to get your episodes together, and then kind of share some of your memories?
It's been a really fun creative outlet for me. I have a lot of stupid ideas that I'm like, these would be funny if I could just produce them. And so this is a really good outlet for stupid ideas.
I mean, yeah, it's a great way of putting it. Yeah, it allows us to run with those ideas we have that we probably wouldn't put out in other places, and just kind of, I don't know, it's been a great focus for mental health stuff. Just like being able to focus on something and put something out instead of just sitting there and not focusing on something.
Having your significant other side eye you. and you're
Right.
like trying to explain why this idea is really funny.
It'd be just John
Yeah.
talking about 70s movies to a household that has no idea what the fuck Murder by Death is. They don't care who Peter
Yep.
Falk is, and it's like hour number 8. You know what I mean?
Me explaining to my wife like no, you don't get it. No, it's funny because
Yeah.
It's
That's the problem when you have, like, 4 geek dads, is we all do that. We all have that thing of like, well, nobody else is gonna find this funny but us.
right. So that's why I say it's been a really cathartic, like creative outlet for me.
Out of curiosity, Shadow, since you had your own show before that you could obviously video game based, which I keep forgetting to pimp on our show. Um, how's it been for you to be like a podcast host?
I mean, it's been an interesting experience, especially since, I mean, even during the YouTube thing, I was always trying to think what other content could I do. I've tried doing like a Let's Play series with like League of Legends, and pretty early on, I was like, yeah, this isn't going to work out. And definitely the numbers showed that. And I started thinking, like, well, should I do like my own podcast, just talk about video games and movies like just about everybody else does? But I feel like you need that unique spin. You definitely learn you got to have like a pretty diverse cast of people to make it interesting on each episode.
I agree.
yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
It
And I
takes
do
a
like that
village.
we all have. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Chris.
Oh no, I was just about to say just real quick. I don't.
No, I wasn't saying you go ahead, Mike. No one gives a shit about you, Chris.
Oh,
By all means,
sorry.
sir.
Sorry,
Please.
sorry. Go
Oh
ahead,
no,
Chris.
all I said was it takes a village.
It does. But like one of those villages in medieval times where they like exile all the lepers. Like,
Are we the lepers?
are we the lepers? No, I was gonna say I really do like that. You know, our views on a lot of things are similar, and we all have approximate knowledge of the things that everybody wants to bring up, or really good knowledge depending on the subject, to where we hold our own in conversations, and you know the topics here. But we also have differing enough points of view and opinions that it makes it interesting to talk about, as opposed to just 4 people just going like, "Oh yeah, no, you're right. Yep,
Yeah.
Like nobody wants to listen to that.
Well, and what I was gonna link onto is that I listen to a lot of podcasting, like a lot of it. And what I like about what we do is it's not centered on like one thing. We don't just do video games. So now you're kind of burnt out of talking about video games. We don't just do, you know what I mean? You everybody has the thing that they're passionate about. And it's
Yeah.
up to all of us when you bring that topic and you go, hey, I want to talk about this. And we all go, well, fuck, man. Yeah, that's nerdy as shit. Let's just see what happens. And I love that. I love that about this. That's where I get the most amount of fun. And the reason I bring that up is in terms of like, if you thought to yourself, hey, I'm going to talk about this or that, and the episode's now over, has there been any point in time where you guys wanted to change your answer or change a subject or just kind of tweak something you didn't get a chance to do before? So, for example, when we were going over the movie stuff, I know for me, I flipped what I wanted to do or what I wanted to talk about multiple times because either somebody had a way better take on it or I'm like, "Oh, shit, someone's gonna take this from me." When they did, I'm like, "Well, fuck, I better say something else." But that's also part of the fun.
I know for me, when we were interviewing Gregory Scott Cummins, I had to cut out a lot of what I wanted to ask or bring up and talk about. But the one thing that I would go back and bring up again is the fact that we're now connected to Kevin Bacon by 6 degrees or less.
You say
Like,
that. Please enlighten.
we are loosely based. Like some of the rules of the game is like you got to appear on screen, but some people loosely will be like you were in a movie with them or such. Now yeah, the rules are loose here. But we interviewed, all 4 of us, we interviewed Gregory Scott Cummins, and he was in Stone Cold with William Forsythe, who was in The Rock with Ed Harris, who was in State of Grace with Sean Penn, who was in Mystic River with Kevin Bacon. Therefore, I conclude that we are now part of the 6 Degrees to Kevin Bacon game.
The Bacon verse. Yeah.
We are part of the Bacon verse.
Do you think we could go add ourselves to, like, is the website like Wikipedia where we could go add ourselves to
I
it?
think we
Right.
should. I already write to him every week. I can just add that too.
I love it. And actually, what is it? That's actually only 5. So we did it even better than some people.
Yeah. Well,
You
yeah,
get
we're
extra
nerds.
credit.
I mean,
We're very efficient.
yeah, I think that's either 4 or 5, depending on how you count it.
Okay.
Yeah, if you start with the movie or the actor, whatever, you know.
I've
But
always
yeah,
wondered how that
yeah.
game started. I'm pretty sure it's just like it just happened at some party or something and then took off and
No,
nobody really
no, you know,
knows.
so it was like a college game that some dudes just thought of. Like, so there's 6 degrees of separation. Like
Mhm.
I don't know if that's like a sociology theory or whatever. I don't know what study of science it is exactly, but college kids were like talking about the theory of 6 degrees of separation, where like by you could connect any two people in the world by 6 degrees of separation.
Hmm.
And then they were like, "Oh, well," they were just, I don't know, drunk, high, whatever, talking about it one day, watching a Kevin Bacon movie, and they were like, "Kevin Bacon's in a lot of movies. I'll bet we could do 6 degrees to Kevin Bacon from any one actor to another." So
Okay.
that's the history of that game.
Well, that makes sense.
I
I
thought it would
mean,
be just somebody lying out of their ass about how they knew somebody and just had to play like the hard math, like
yeah.
just trying to impress some girl. Yeah, yeah,
Right,
me and Kevin Bacon. Yeah, we're Tremors. Yeah, me and Tremors are
right,
amazing.
right.
We're best buds.
Me and Tremors.
A friend of a friend of a friend of a
Yeah,
friend of a
exactly. But we're
friend,
pretty much the
but
same. I'm pretty much in Tremors. I'm pretty much Footloose.
right,
I know
we're
the guy
best
who knows the guy
friends.
who knows the guy.
Exactly.
Right.
So, anyways, take off your shirt. Um, how about you, Dom? Anything that because obviously the ones you've pitched before, you pitched obviously a ton of shit. And you have your own YouTube that I'd never promote. That you
Huh.
pitch a ton of stuff too.
No.
So like anything that you could go back, hey, I would change this. I would do something different. That kind of thing.
Does it have to be the podcast or
It can be
Just-
anything. Yeah, it can be anything.
because the reason I say this because right now, like my most popular video is the XCOM 2 video. Like for some reason, it's just jumping up in views, like almost hitting like 200 in a day.
Oh.
And for some reason, or at least,
Nice.
well, when I try to rewatch it, there's a part where my friend Dante, who is also a YouTuber streamer, since I was creating his character in the game and I wanted to feature him in it, and one of his, I guess, quotes that he likes to do is "Gotcha, bitch." And so I thought, oh, I'm gonna whenever his character like does something, I'm gonna have him say that line. So I had him. It's like, hey, can you just record a bunch of different "Gotcha, bitch" quotes? And I feel like I featured that.
Multiple versions of that.
Yeah, there's
Just
different versions of it.
takes. Different
But I
takes.
feel like I did it like maybe too much because every time I rewatch it, I'm just like, okay, it's getting really annoying. It's not funny anymore. I think I should have just done more of as I'm narrating, talking, and when you see him kill something in the background, it's quiet but still audible. That's what I should have done, and it irks me every time. And now it's getting more popular, and I'm like, more and more people are seeing this. God damn it!
The most annoying thing that you have, and they love it. It's so
That
funny.
would be the most ironic thing.
I just love the concept of you're like, hey, get in the booth and give me 12 good gotcha bitches. Gotcha, bitch. Got you, bitch.
It was
Okay,
more
now
like
do
different
it
intensities.
sad.
God,
Yeah, let's do that. Now
Now
show me
do
you're a
it
tiger.
there.
gotcha,
Now take off your
bitch.
shirt. You want to be famous, right?
Exactly. You know I know Kevin Bacon.
Right.
I mean, I would say, like, for the Counter-Strike episodes, for the League of Legends episodes, I wish I would have shit on those communities significantly more.
Oh my
But,
god.
like, eh,
Oh
like,
yeah.
it's low-hanging fruit. It's like if you just type in League of Legends, like, anywhere, the first thing is, like, "League of Legends bad." And it's the same thing for Counter-Strike. So it's like, why there were good you did a lot of really good research for those, Dom, and I liked them.
I
It was fun to me,
appreciate it.
and definitely, especially for the Counter-Strike one, because I never really was a League person. The Counter-Strike one was a ton of fun to go back into and start remembering, like, all the stuff that I used to play, and like I said, we used to go to the cyber cafe and just waste a whole bunch of time and do, like, these
Right.
overnight gaming sessions there. Like, it was a blast.
Yeah. When you're not taking it serious, it's just you're just
Well,
having fun, just shooting everybody and
some people were. Some people were. I do remember there they were like, "Oh, let's do some. We're all here overnight. Let's do some tournaments." And I'm like, "Okay, great." And then at one point, I go because they would buy Jack in the Box for everybody who was there overnight. It was like part of the baked-in cost, right? Somebody went out and got burgers and fries for everybody. And I go up front to get like my burger or something, and we look to the left, and one of the other teams that was in this like friendly tournament has the computer monitor up. Four guys are sitting there looking, and one guy's like, "This is ladder H. And if you go over here, this is hallway I. So if I tell you go HI and then drop down to K and then go over it," I'm like, "What the fuck is, dude?" Like, and I'm over here like, bad guys in train room. Have bomb, run. Like it's like there's always the tryhards. But yeah,
Yeah. Can't escape
it's
them.
been a lot of fun, like looking back at stuff. Oh, the Happy Meal episode too. That was fucking fun, man.
That was pretty fun. You know what's funny about what you mentioned? So, like, I've run into that where we're playing Void Crew with some of Nichols' friends the other
Yeah.
day, where they were using a lot of military jargon. So I use a lot of military jargon, and I was just like, "Hey, you guys in the military?" And everybody went, "Oh, no, no. Anyways, I need you to go over to starboard." And you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
at exactly 1,500 hours, and I'm like, "Oh, we're all pretending." Okay.
Yeah.
I am offended because I was trying to use port starboard aft, and
Star Wars.
I am whatever it was. I was ready to captain that ship, and I was like, "Can you just fucking say left and right, John?"
Yeah.
You know what happened though? It worked because Nicola and I beat the freaking boss, and we were just sailing away from it and going like, "Oh, this is our end game." Like we're just
Yeah.
like, "We're done." Like we're not. I don't. How many
Yeah.
bosses are there? Two more? No, we're finished. Don't you guys?
Oh yeah, it's like in when you're playing like a shooter or some sort of like PvP based game. You don't need to win the round anymore, but there's that one player who pissed you the fuck off,
Mhm.
and now winning for you is killing that son of a bitch.
Right.
I only really watch like 4 streamers, 5 streamers, and because Doom is the big thing right now,
Mhm.
it's like they're playing it for me. They're experiencing it for me. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I'll have those same moments where like they will get frustrated dying to the same guy finally over and over again. Then I get frustrated. So when they win, I'm like, "Oh, we won."
And then you go and you send a gif over of like Goku charging up, and then they win that round. You're like, "I helped!
Yeah.
I helped!"
Yeah.
John, it was funny that you brought up the fast food toys episode because like as soon as we finished recording that one, I was like, "Oh God, I forgot about this one and that
Mhm.
one and it." Like I forgot, I remembered like no less than like 5 more. I was like, "Fuck, I should have brought those up."
Yeah, there's a lot. The things that stuck out with me were always like because I think I put out or one of us put out the like those Ninja Turtles tapes that you could buy, and like that was one of the biggest Happy Meal things. It wasn't technically Happy Meal. Those and those little like what do you call it? Those little handheld games that aren't like a Game Boy, but it's like the pocket football or whatever. There's
Oh,
like
like the
Sonic the
Tiger
Hedgehog.
Electronic ones?
Yeah, Tiger
Yeah, the
Electronic
Tiger
ones.
Electronics.
Yeah. So like all of those were the ones that really got me, and it was less about the little kitschy toys.
Right.
But it was, yeah, that was fun to look back at.
In all honesty, that was going to be something I was gonna pitch to you guys a while back, and I just like, I can't. I don't know how to do this." Because, like, yeah, I played a bunch of them, but you'd have to really, like, really play them. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But it's still in my head because those Tiger Electronic things were pieces of garbage, and I own, like
Oh, yeah.
Oh God, and they were too, weren't they?
yeah, they
Like
were bullshit.
when the game glitched out, you could see every single
Oh,
like
yeah.
motion on the screen.
I would press the screen hard just to see what the animation did.
Right,
Just and I
right,
felt like it was a cheat code.
right.
Yeah, it ended up looking like a blacked out Etch-a-Sketch.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. It's a fever dream because, like, if you're playing a baseball game, you'd have, like, the bat, like, slowly go up. Well, if you pushed hard enough, it was like he was holding on to, like, 7 tails. Like, it's like one of those Japanese fox,
Yeah.
Pokemon foxes. It was bizarre, and I used to love it. So, speaking of, like, all these other episodes, is there a topic that you guys feel differently now that we've done it? As opposed to, like, oh, I don't know, as opposed to, like, "Hey, I should have mentioned this," but you go back and you're like, I thought I was gonna hate this." And I end up digging it. Because for me, that would have been John's TV episode stuff, the ones that didn't get enough love, and I'm like, "We sorta did this." You know what I mean? I'm like, "Okay, cool." And we kinda halfway mentioned it, and then doing a whole episode devoted to it, I
Uh-huh.
had a blast. I really did. It's second only to his breakfast one, where I was literally up until we hit record, I'm like, why are we fucking doing this again? Like,
No.
what are we nostalgic for? And it became my favorite fucking thing. The breakfast thing was so
The
much fun.
breakfast one was really good, really fun.
Yeah.
You know, I think I remember I wasn't in the mood to do the McDonald's one.
Yeah, I
Like,
do remember that.
that was one that you guys talked me into.
That's right.
Yeah, I was just like feeling down, not into it, just I was not in the mood. But yeah, definitely by the time we got into it, I was 100% on board, and I was getting into it too. So I think, yeah, that was one that I was like, man, but I'm happy I did it.
Yeah, it was good. It was a good episode. I mean, as far as what you
Sorry,
got,
I didn't
Dom.
mean to interrupt you,
Uh,
No,
John.
go for it, man. That's fine.
No, we're trying to be happy here today. This is a celebration of what we did, John.
Oh, sorry, I misunderstood.
well, I guess for me, it was probably the Simpsons Treehouse Horror Special.
Oh
It's like,
God, that's right. You
It's like,
didn't know anything.
why was I even there?
God damn, I
Right.
so forgot about
There's like so many other episodes I wish I was there for, but
That's a
I
valid
can't
point.
remember if like I had to work or I was just so exhausted for whatever reason. But why couldn't it have just been that Simpsons one that I missed? Because it wouldn't make any difference whether or not I was there.
No, but it was so much fun to turn to Dom, and Dom just like, the fuck
Yeah.
is this show? Why are you guys
Like
obsessed with this shitty cartoon? Because we would start quoting, and Dom's just like, I'm not laughing. This entire
Right.
episode, I'm not laughing at anything
Yeah.
about.
just ha ha ha, yeah, guys, this is great.
I feel like The Simpsons just didn't age well enough. I mean, yeah, a lot of it's contextual to watching it and remembering like that shared laugh we had when it was, live on the air, and you talked about it with people the next day, and it was and it was edgy.
when it was edgy, you know.
Yeah.
When it was interesting, right? You couldn't see that.
Right.
Yes.
Well, when the writing was good and not trite and not
Well, exactly. And in Dom's
overdone.
generation, who's like a decade younger than us, they already had your Comedy Centrals and your Adult Swims and stuff. You know what I mean?
Right,
So
right.
you already get that. It's old hat. So I kind of this is almost more for Chris because his episodes ideas, as we've kind of pimped on the show, are very much ADHD style questions and whatnot. So for in terms of both of yours, both the two nickels and hopefully the third one coming up, was there like a question or I should let me rephrase it? Was there an answer that went completely off the rails where you didn't see any of it coming, or did you kind of figure like, okay, I know their personalities, I know what they're gonna do. Was there anything surprising? Because for us, the reason why I love those is that I don't know what the questions are, and I have
Right.
no way to prep, so we're just fucking gunning it. But obviously, you do.
God, well, I mean, I do try to at least come up with questions that don't leave things to go way too off the rails, like some sort of super offensive answer, John.
What?
I'm kidding.
Yeah, yeah. I had to edit
But
that thing to make it seem less offensive. I edited an answer to make it seem like you were molested by a housekeeper or something like that, and that was the compromise.
Housekeeper. You want to hear a fun? Okay, I sorry. After Chris goes, I will tell you a funny housekeeper story.
Okay, okay.
I can't think of any question specifically that I was like, wow, like 100% taken back on.
Is there any questions that you remember that you would like to have said?
Hands down, my favorite one that we did ask was when we broke Dom.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that was like first season, I guess,
Yeah.
technically.
Yeah, but still.
But when we broke Dom with the 100 duck-sized horses.
God, man.
When we broke him with that was
Couldn't
my
stop
favorite.
laughing.
He's just
Oh
like,
my
I can't even
I
talk.
can't breathe.
He's so even keeled, and that deep voice is so straight laced that when he starts losing it, it's my favorite fucking thing to see on the screen.
Right. No, that's my favorite question I asked. I told you guys on Discord earlier, I was like, ooh, with the 100 men versus a gorilla and then I was like, well, what if, since we did, a gorilla versus a Kodiak bear? But I'm like, 100 men would probably take out both of them eventually, right? With massive losses, but
You mean like a team up of bear and monkey versus 100 men?
That's what I assumed when I first heard it. I thought they were all fighting him at once.
no, I was thinking like maybe two groups of 100.
Oh, okay.
But in terms of that question, was it meant to be you're fighting one on one on one? Because all the memes are like, all right, you're now number 98. You know what I mean? It's like that. When I first
Yeah.
read it, I'm like, is it 100 guys on one thing? Because you could just grab it.
No, I think I've always understood the question as like 100 at once.
That's what I thought
Yeah.
too. So then when I saw all these memes of like, I'm number 84, I'm like, I don't understand that. Aren't you all 100?
I was thinking about talking about it, but then I was like, nah, you know what? It's fucking Kodiak Bear. Kodiak Bear wins. Because if 100 men will beat a gorilla. And then if we've already decided that a Kodiak Bear would beat a gorilla.
Did you have the same reaction I did when that first came out? I'm like, oh, we had a whole episode showing that the
Yeah,
gorilla is kind of a piece of shit.
you guys are behind you're behind the queue here. You should listen to the Timepals podcast.
Yeah, exactly. We already did this a year ago.
Right.
Wait, was it the one with the orangutan with a sword? Is that what
Yeah.
we're talking about? Okay,
Yeah.
just making sure.
Yeah.
What was that? Orangutan with a sword once a year, or every
Yeah,
time? Yeah, or every time you get in the car, you got to fight a chicken.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was a good question. I liked that question.
But I did like John's answer, saying like every time you get in that car, have chicken for dinner. So
You got chicken dinner.
so,
Shit, I got 20 people coming over, so you're just getting in and out of the car.
Man, I think that was our first clip or two, right?
Yeah.
Because that answer was so insane.
I do want to do like almost like a pivot off of that though, where we each bring some questions for the other three, like
Okay.
almost like a round table nickel vicinity. That would be super fun too.
Okay.
You're trying to steal his idea and make it yours?
No, I
Yeah.
just want to
Yeah,
do. I
that's-
just want to do one.
That's
I wanna-
exactly what he's trying to do.
Yeah, I just heard that out loud. We didn't
Yeah,
even have a
right.
meeting.
this is Nichols'
I'm just
bread
saying,
and butter
I just
right
thought of
here.
it now. I just
You know
thought
what
of
it would
it.
be cool to be called if it was like the John vicinity?
It's the John Jerk-Off-a-thon or something like that.
Jerk off-a-thon. We gotta raise our money somehow.
Yeah.
That's the other thing we gotta do more of is we have a buy us a coffee link that I think I've only posted twice.
Oh yeah, I thought you were gonna say jerk off, but I was yeah.
No. That you can do anytime you just need a break.
Yeah, just actually, let me turn my camera off. After no, no. So I wanted to say I wanted to give this freaking stupid housekeeper story based off of what you guys said. So at one point in time, we lived in Redwood. We rented a house in Redwood City. It was me, my wife, and then 3 people. My other friend Mike, my little brother, and then this random dude Colin, who my little brother knew. And so they had the 3 other rooms across the house. Colin would bring home women at random intervals. Very charismatic lad.
Right.
So he was pinching them from the back of the pack. Yeah, we're a little bit slower on the.
Target the old ones and the weak ones, just like
Yeah,
any
no,
other way.
these definitely weren't the top thinkers. So one day, Anna, who is all Mexican, was in the kitchen cleaning, and one of the girls is leaving, and while she's talking to Colin, she goes, "I can't believe you guys have a housekeeper to clean up after all of you. You guys should be able to do that."
Oh no.
And I see this look on Colin's face like, "What do you mean?" And then she kind of like looks over his shoulder, and I'm sitting there just like, well, I had to. I'm like, "You mean my wife?"
Oh,
The look on this poor little 90-pound white girl's
God.
face was fucking amazing. And then when I told Anna about it, she thought it was fucking obviously it's like stupid racist. So we're just be like, "Oh, you got a brown person in the house? Must be the help." Like, but like, fuck, it was so hard for me not to just laugh my ass off about that. And yeah,
At least she didn't
Versus-
like throw her purse at it and like run away as fast as she could.
Yeah.
Distract.
Pocket sand.
I did want to give Nicola this chance because I know he said it in the Discord. So if you could my question originally was if you could re-interview a guest, or re-speak to a guest, what questions would you ask? Were there any other things you would ask Greg? Because I know for me, as someone who didn't know a lot about his work in It's Always Sunny, I thought you guys were going to do more of that because I knew his movie stuff.
I mean, I wanted to like share the forum with you guys. I wasn't trying to just talk about It's Always Sunny.
Yeah, but we were all dumb on The Simpsons on that one.
Right.
As far as It's Always Sunny goes, like that the what was the episode? Was it Mac hosts dinner? What's the name of it?
No, that's
But
the one we talked about. I got that.
Yeah,
that
I
was
can't think of the name. I literally watched that episode for the first time 2 hours before we did the podcast because I was trying to watch It's Always like over the weeks leading up to it. I'd gotten through like multiple seasons because I wanted to watch. I'm like, oh, he's known for this. I
Right.
know how popular this show is, but like I don't really know him for this. Or like I don't really know him well enough other than some of the cameos and other things and the other parts that he did. So I wanted to be able to go into it with you, but like going into that and having just watched it, I don't know. I felt like it landed really well that he was able to talk about that episode that you asked rather about that episode that I had just watched, and I was like, oh man, because that really was a really good part and a really good episode.
I just
The-
love we got him to talk about Stone Cold. The
Yeah.
moment I'm just like, sweet, this is like right in my wheelhouse. That was my nostalgia because I'm like, not only are we doing the whole like doing like a movie that was, I thought I was the only person who saw it first off back in the day.
Yeah.
But we got him to talk some shit too. And I'm like,
Yeah, we did.
dude. Like I was just like, you're one of us.
Fucking Bosworth.
Yeah, right? Fucking Boz. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh my God, he was a dick. Yeah, he was a dick. Fuck yeah. Like, oh, you know what I mean? It was great. It was great.
I would love to have him back on the show. That would be. I would love to do another episode with him. I don't know if I ever told you guys this, but it is hands down my mom's favorite episode and my stepdad because of the fact that they both love Bosch, and they love Greg's character and his partner's character in the show.
Yeah.
So like both of them, like, is he going to be back on the show? Oh, have you thought about getting Crate and Barrel on the show? Like,
Jesus.
and I was like, I mean, it'd be cool.
I think that's too big for us.
No. We can do it. I believe in us.
If I was there for the interview with Greg, I probably would have asked him either some like acting questions or, how does he get into character? Like what are his thoughts when he's like preparing for it? That's what I would have been
remember there
interested
was
in.
something about that where he talked about the music he listened to.
We don't exist unless Dom's on the show. You know that, guys, right?
What we need to do is we need to fly out to Dom and then go up into the mountains and have like a it's a team building. It'd be some fucking some trust falls.
No,
And
it's
like,
no one's not going to believe we're not having crazy gay sex in a cabin.
I mean, I said team building, right?
I know.
Okay, so going way back, way back to your question of like, was there something you wanted to ask on an episode that you weren't a part of?
Mhm.
Right? Yeah. I wanted to bring this up for that past the latest episode. Zeke the plumber from Salute Your Shorts.
Don't know it.
You don't know Zeke the plumber from Salute Your Shorts?
John
I
knows
don't
it.
remember.
Dude, I just saw a picture of fucking was it Buttkiss? He's a fucking grandpa now, dude.
Yeah, he is.
A fucking grandpa, Chris.
So yeah, on the
Which
creepy.
one was Zeke the plumber?
So it was an episode of Salute Your Shorts, and it was a horror episode,
Huh.
and it was like, I mean, for a comedy kids show like Salute Your Shorts, it was a pretty creepy-ish episode. It was like a ghost story.
Oh, now I gotta see what the hell this is.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, Google it. It's creepy as shit. It's
But I-
100% like a demented, like somebody took it,
Well, his
Halloween
no
mask, would you say? And then
his
like
nose is bit off and something like
yeah,
that. Yeah.
it's
Oh my
even
god, I
worse.
did see this. Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
That
It
was
Yeah.
terrifying.
I
Oh my
listened I
god.
listened I listened to the episode and I was like, "Man."
Did you guys ever see I didn't use it because we ended up having enough stuff, but did you guys ever see the Family Matters episode where Urkel basically I forget if he's like a doll or something, but it's a horror episode involving him?
I don't remember that.
No, no,
I was
I don't
Yeah.
pretty
remember that one.
dedicated to my Urkel watching too.
Let me see if I can find it. It was nuts.
I do remember the episode where, oh no, what was the daughter's name? Laura, where Laura's best friend gets shot in the parking lot.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's
That
like
was
a
heavy for a family show, though.
but that's a very real episode, not a like horror
True,
trope
true,
episode, you
true,
know.
very true. But I just mean as far as like episodes where I'm just like, holy shit, like that was one of them. I was like, I thought I was here for some TGIF stuff, not
No,
this
dog.
is not killing
TGIF
my
went raw sometimes.
yeah.
Here it is. It's called Stevel, the Satanic Doppelganger.
People.
Season 8, basically a ventriloquist doll that goes and murders the rest of the family. I didn't the problem was I knew we didn't have enough time for it, so I didn't rewatch it, but the image of it is still in my brain. It is
Right,
like, he kills everybody, he fucking kills everybody. It's obviously, it's a dream. See, they all these ones are always dreams,
right,
but
right.
it's fucking great. Shit, man, we might as well just do another one of those. But, but man, so in terms of, like, that kinda thing, I mean, Dom, do you have anything like that?
Uh,
Well, Dom, do you have a favorite episode?
definitely just has to be Nickel's questions from the Nickel vicinity because
The Star
it's
Wars
got to
ones are
be
great
just
too, though. The AI
right.
ones have been great too.
I think it's definitely just the unscripted moments because I'll spend so much time doing research and then
Right,
I'm just like so worried about, okay, how's this episode gonna go down? How am I gonna
Right.
deliver all this? But when it's just an episode that's much more discussion wise, or just don't have anything written down and just wing it, I think it's a lot more enjoyable.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's pros and cons to both. That's one thing, in
right,
terms of, like, as I've learned as we've gone. When I first started this out, it was, "Hey, we're gonna talk about YouTube," not villains, but, like, just YouTube controversies. It's easy, so everything was written. It was all very, very structured.
yeah,
And unfortunately, you could tell the difference because the first 2 episodes we ever did before we grabbed you guys in here were super written, super scripted, and then the last one, we were winging it, but because we didn't have it, it sounded like we didn't have anything. We talked for, like, an hour about nothing,
right.
and you started to at least for me, I started to learn, like, "Okay, I can't do that because that was ridiculous." But if we have this super script, I'm afraid it wouldn't lead I'm afraid it's gonna just be me talking and then we're done. So when I brought you guys in, I'm like, "I wonder how we're gonna actually, like, make this work," and I think it's been eye-opening for me just learning how to do this, to see it in action, right? To see, like, okay, well, Dom's episodes tend to have a lot of a scripting. Nichols' episodes obviously have a set
None.
that he's written. Right? No, but you do, you have a thing that you write.
Right,
Mine's is, I'm gonna write a very brief intro and let's fucking have at it. I have, like, names of shit that hopefully I will remember what I wanted to say. You know what I mean? Like, it's like that.
right, right.
But by themselves, I don't think it would be as fun. Throwing them all together, I'm like, it actually works to me. Like, it balances out. Because just like Dom was saying, the AI stuff, I mean, he's reading what the AI is saying, but we don't know what the fuck it's gonna say, neither does he. You
Right,
know what I
right.
mean? Like,
And
it's crazy fun. But then even with the Star one, like, Nicola, I thought, said it best. I don't remember if it was on the episode or not, when he's like, "Hey, the second one, I think, beats the first one." Even though I love the first one, we all understood it now. So it's, "Hey, we
Yeah.
can't just kill off this character
right,
and then try to have the AI figure it out. We have to figure it out ourselves in a way that makes sense." Whereas the first time around, we were talking in circles. We're like, "Well, come on, figure out what we want it to do, AI," and
yeah,
it
yeah.
doesn't do it, right? It doesn't do it. For us, we were like, Nicholas is like, "Oh shit, I fucked us because we just killed the only other character in the story."
Right.
And I went, "Okay,
My
well,
bad.
yeah, we did that, or you did that." So, like, how do we fix this? Well, instead of just talking our way around it, we're like, "Well, fuck it. Why don't we?" I remember it like it was yesterday. "Hey, why are we sticking around here? Why don't we just go somewhere?" "Yeah, fucking A, let's do that." You know what I mean? Let's just move on. We'll hopefully get introduced to somebody else. But Jabba
Right.
the Hutt. You know what I mean? Because
Right.
the system is just gonna pull a name it knows. Fucking great. That I would love to do more of that too.
Mhm.
And we're still learning it, right? We're not even 50 episodes in. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And it's still
Mhm.
a learning process, and it's been some of the most fun I've had. With that said, do any of you guys have a favorite episode or
I mean, favorite
Jesus. You
episode,
know
I have
what?
to. Oh, go ahead, Chris.
Go ahead, John. John, go ahead.
I was gonna say I gotta agree with Dom that the nickel vicinity, the first nickel vicinity was my favorite episode because it was really like completely blank slate, and we were still getting to know each other back then. So then Nickel coming with all of those questions was
Right.
a
Yeah.
ton of fun. And then like I was able to go into the other ones, and the other one I'm like, okay, I kind of know what, like I still didn't know what questions you were going to ask, obviously, but I'm like, okay, he's going to come with some goofy questions, but it really was just completely, no expectations going to the first one. And that did become probably my favorite episode. I want to say, I think one of the things that I learned that I enjoy as far as our episodes goes is picking topics that allow more collaboration from all of you, where it's more open, even if I'm like prompting with, oh, this versus this, and then having us discuss. Like I feel like the movie episode didn't do well because it was like there's no chance in hell you guys would have been able to watch all those movies and even wanted to watch all those movies and all of that stuff before the episode came out. So it made it really hard. It ended up being more of like a me talking at you guys type of thing. And that was not well structured from my side of things, but I liked how some of my other episodes went. But I think just going in and making sure that, okay, if it is something like a movie episode, can I have it planned for like 2 months from now, so
Right.
that it does give everybody a chance to watch a couple movies, but also not make it so much of a big deal for you guys to have to, like, it's not 6 or 8 fucking movies. Like, maybe we talk about 2 movies, maybe we compare 2 movies, maybe you know, because it's not a second job.
Right.
So I'm kind of looking at my stuff from that perspective now and trying to make sure it's more doable so that it can be more fun for everybody.
I'm still begrudgingly open for Dom to select an animated episode of something, and I will watch it on the stream.
Right.
We still gotta make him
I
watch the Lord
still
of the Rings anime.
still have to see it because I
Oh,
am.
actually, I recently watched that.
I've heard it's pretty bad, is it?
I
Is it
mean,
shitty? It is so shitty that I would like it. Like, is it shitty for you? But I'm gonna be like, hey, this is really good.
it's so
This is what
bad,
anime
it's
is. This is
good, I
great.
guess you could say. I don't know, it just felt like they were trying too hard to capture the Lord of the Rings magic, but also it's in anime form, so it just feels off-putting, so
I can understand that.
meh.
Yeah, too many tentacles.
I wouldn't recommend it, is
Not
basically
enough
what I'm saying.
tentacles.
Not bad, not good, but I don't recommend people seeing it unless you got nothing better to do.
I have a
Uh,
whole
I
summer without this show, man. I will probably watch it.
I think for me, hands down, my favorite episode as a whole was the Die Hard Christmas one.
I love that one.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That I think hands down that was like our best teamwork, our best like arguments, like that was just all around.
Yeah.
I feel like that
Yeah.
was our best work. Um,
Yeah.
I do want an opportunity to bring Phineas back.
Oh, you're gonna have it because I still have to go against Dom sometime soon.
as far as a favorite line, it's just come up recently, and that was underscore in the Star Wars AI episode. And I don't know why I think it's so funny, but it's when he was like, I point the artifact at them like an asshole.
Oh shit! I didn't forget I said that.
Yeah.
I don't know why I find that line so funny.
I think it's just
But
hard to
like,
picture, like, what does doing
yeah,
it like an
right,
asshole
right,
entail?
Right.
What is
right.
the
Does-
the
Say it
motion?
Does he
like,
mean
are
it
you holding it
literally?
over their head, like they're trying to jump and get it?
No,
I'm like, yeah.
yeah, yeah. I hold it towards them like an asshole.
Yeah.
Like,
Is he
I
holding it the way he would hold an asshole? Is he would like, where does the asshole come into play?
No,
No,
I mean, I think that's my favorite one most recently, just because, yeah, I listened to that and then I had to listen to it again and again and again.
I was just worried the AI was going to say you're pointing it at its asshole.
I mean, if it did, that would have been awesome.
Like you tell them to turn around. You point it at their asshole.
Well, that brings me to me very fast. That Star one was my favorite shit. Even though like it did okay, but even though it did okay, like it did fine download wise, it had my favorite John moment in a while where he's I was watching him on screen. He's very like serious about like, hey, I don't want to turn this into something like too stupid. I want to have this focused. No,
Good
no, no.
luck with
Remember, it was
that.
like we had a plan for this. We don't want to go
Right.
dark so soon. And literally 3 lines in, he's like, stab this woman in the
Stab it.
chest.
With the
And I'm just like,
artifact.
and we all stopped. We all fucking stopped. Like you could hear it in the episode go, you said that? You said that. And like, okay, stab her in the chest. And then we were like, for the explanation, it's I just want to see what happens when you drive it into her. And
There's a
like,
point.
oh, we went to a place.
Now, to be fair,
To be fair.
to be fair, I had killed them already.
Thank you.
Oh, I know.
Thank
I know. I know.
I was
But,
like, there's a point where
however-
you murder a Jedi and you just gotta throw your hands up like, all right, what are we gonna do now? Let's see-
However, he did. Yeah, that's my second favorite line, I think. I just stab it into their chest to see, or I stab it into the corpse to see what happens.
Oh, I loved it. That show was great.
That was a fun one. That was a fun one. It'd be fun to do some other like popular like properties. Like I'd be fun to do like a Star Trek AI. It'd be fun to do.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Us
Like-
having to be more straight laced and inquisitive. Fuck yeah.
Justice League AI. Zack Snyder's Justice League AI.
There you go. There we
Please
go.
tell me they have that.
I hope they do.
I'd have to look.
Oh my god, that's got to be one we plan for during the summertime too. Holy
Yeah.
shit. So to end with some stats as we're just kind of patting ourselves on the back and kind of doing the good vibes. The top 10 episodes for us would be number 1, The Nickel Velocity, Too Nickel Too Furious. Number 2, Breakfast with the Time Pals, the most important geek cast of the day. Time Pals Do the Oscars Worst somehow became 3. Time Pals in the shows that deserve more is 4. Time Pals Interview Gregory, Scott Cummins is number 5. The Time Pals of Us is 6. Surprise Inside is 7. Time Pals versus Time Pals, Die Hard is or is not a Christmas movie is the next one. Time Pals finished the Oscars worst. It's funny you mentioned that the movie thing wasn't popular. The bookends of it were popular. It's crazy. It's almost like people were along for the beginning of the ride and the end of the ride and didn't want to stick for the middle. And then
Right.
finally, Time Pals versus the Universe is I think that was like our second or third one ever, and it's still kind of chugging along. I don't have anything else, guys. I just wanted to say out loud, thank you guys for making this really fun.
It's been great.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
mental health wise, I didn't know how important this was going to be for me. And then to have even a small burgeoning audience for it that's along for the ride is great. Don't get me wrong, that's amazing. But just being able to talk to you guys and being like, hey, let's talk about something that has nothing to do with work, nothing to do with family.
Yep.
We're just going to fuck around about whatever we want to do on the planet has been fun. And it's been great for me personally.
Yep. I
100%.
could not agree more.
Yeah. Unless anybody has anything else, I think we're good.
Yeah,
Fuck you, John.
This is underscore for the rest of the Time Pals. Fuck you, John.
Thank you for listening to the Time Pals. Please like and subscribe. The Time Pals are the geek cornerstone of the Mayday Media Network. Check out all of the Mayday Media podcasts at maydaymedianetwork.com